You've been hearing all about it, a showdown between superpowers erupting over Syria. And while everyone's focusing on the military might of all the players, shouldn't we be focusing on flexing our economic biceps as well as our six-pack military abs? Smitty, you have six-pack abs. What about it? But here's the point. We have the strongest military in the world, bar none, and we know that. But shouldn't we get back to focusing on our economic strength? We used to be a superpower.
Thank you, and to the energy king himself, let's focus on getting natural gas out of the ground here, liquefying it, and sending it over to China. I mean, what are we doing here? We need to find out a way to make China dependent on us again and get them to convert their dollars into our dollars. I mean, until we can do something like that, Eric, we have no place to stand.
John, let me get to you. Globally, we rank 5th now. In 2007, 2008, we were first on global competitiveness. Not only that, economic freedom, we're 10th. We're sliding on just about every economic metric against the rest of the world. What's it going to take to change that slide, John?
Well, it's going to take a return to the philosophy, to the ideas that actually made us a superpower, Eric, in the first place. I mean, it's not like there's a difference in the water between New York and Pyongyang or New York and Havana, Cuba. It's because this country has always exemplified capitalism, individual rights, free markets. I mean, that's what has created our superpower status. In fact, it was created back before the Federal Reserve, minimum wage, any of the entitlement programs we now herald as being uniquely American. Our superpower status was established before that. So to get back to that status, we need to return to those principles, return to those ideals. Unfortunately, under the president, I fear we're going in very much the opposite direction.
Wayne, what is it? Where are we? Are we focusing enough on our economic power, getting ourselves back, back on our economic feet?
No, but Eric, I'm not sure that has that much to do with how you registered with the rest of the world. You know, the peace of the world was maintained from 1815 Waterloo to 1914 World War I, not by people who were superpowers, but by people who understood the balance of power. In other words, in the Middle East, we have this problem in the Middle East right now. If we could play off one of those people against the other, if we could negotiate between one and the other, if we could recognize what our selfish best interests are and utilize that instead of using military power, the threat, yes, but not actually using it, that's what we need to do to position ourselves with the rest of the world.
Julie, we're a country that we're very giving. We tax our people who have, we tax the haves a lot, and we give the have-nots quite a bit. But we're sliding economically against the rest of the world. Is this a bad policy? Should we get back to a more capitalist society?
I don't know about capitalists, but I think we're a pretty capitalist society already. But if you look at the countries that are number 1, 2, 3, these are not countries that were affected as much by the housing crisis as the rest of the world, as much as we were, as much as Britain was, and that's why we've slid since 2008, since the crash, and they haven't. But to Wayne's point, actually, Wayne makes a great point. I'll agree with him. I mean, we do need to absolutely have a more robust diplomacy where we do play, that's realpolitik. We need to play these people off each other. We need to do what's in our national interest. And I think we need to make a very aggressive case to do that. So I'm with Wayne on that one.
Let me do this also. John, let me go to you on this one. World ranking in math, our students, we rank 25th against the world. In reading, we're 12th. Education is sliding. Economic freedom is sliding. We're heading the wrong direction.
Yeah, maybe we need more of those fantastic public schools doing such a wonderful job educating our kids. I mean, Eric, interestingly, the countries now that top those listings are countries with much less restrictions and regulations than the U.S. Hong Kong, Singapore come to mind. And those are business-friendly climates. And I tell you, it's not a country's natural resources or even its military that create wealth. I mean, it is those ideas. It is those principles. So, Julie, I don't know, you want to move away from capitalism, go towards what? I don't know, European-style socialism? They've got 28% unemployment in Greece.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. How'd you know? How'd you guess? I mean, come on.
What's your alternative then? What's your alternative?
What's my alternative? Did I say I wanted to move away from capitalism? I don't understand why you're putting words in my mouth. All I'm simply saying is that you're actually was agreeing with Wayne and a lot of what everybody else was saying, which is, yes, we need to redouble our efforts to get our economy back on track. We're on the same page here, my friend.
Wayne, let me give you the last word, but when you do Obamacare, John, please, hold on. When you do Obamacare, it is very, it's socialized medicine, is it not?
Well, it is. And, Eric, there are things that are, obviously, we need to rejuvenate our economy. We obviously need to do that. We've had 4.5 years of Obama, and we're still at above a 7% unemployment rate. These are facts. We have to deal with the facts. You have got to rejuvenate the economy in many ways. And, yes, capitalism is something because capitalism does bring us freedom. We know that, and that's what we have to insist on. At the same time, you've got to use your selfish best interests in foreign diplomacy to get the best best you can out of it. And the proof of that is in the past of history. All you have to do is read it.
All right. Very good. And we will, Wayne. Good advice. Good sound advice.